Lightgliders is a virtual world of Christian faith, games, and community. It encourages biblical faith, positive values, and meaningful conversations among kids and families. By offering fun gameplay, wholesome, uplifting content, and a safe online community experience on computers, tablets, and smartphones, Lightgliders provides a fresh way to engage the kids you care about. Kids spend a lot of time during their formative years being shaped by video games and screen time. Lightgliders redeems this time with gameplay adventures and Bible-based activities that encourage family connections throughout the week. Invest in the faith and values of the next generation. Give kids digital playtime with a powerful purpose. Join Lightgliders today, where faith and fun come together.
Well, Zach, it is so good to talk with you and pick your brain a little bit today, because I just think this is so needed. As a mom myself, as I told you before we got started, I know how much time kids are, spending, on screens. And as much as we want to say, yeah, let's pull back a little bit, I think there's also some great things that are happening that families may not even know about yet. So I'm so excited to kind of put a spotlight on what your team has been doing for several years now.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It's a joy to be here and to talk about Lightgliders.
Yeah, so how do you best describe, I guess, who's the target age that's, is best for this platform that you guys have built?
Sure. So Lightgliders is a virtual world of Christian faith, games, and community that was designed for kids primarily ages 6 to 12. And it's also to be a resource for family discipleship. I'm a former youth pastor who spent countless hours with junior high and high school students. And I remember thinking to myself, I wish we could start younger. And so I started doing some research on kids, and I found out that the critical years to impact kids in the area of faith and values are before the teenage years. So I began looking for a culturally relevant and globally distributed way to encourage more conversations in the home about faith and values, and specifically the gospel of Jesus. And that search of cultural relevance and global distribution led me to digital games and screen time. I saw that kids were only spending more and more time in front of screens and playing digital games. And I thought to myself, this could be used for good. It doesn't have to be used for evil. It can be, and it is. And it doesn't have to just be used as, I think some of us just want a safe digital babysitter, and I think that's fine too. But this could also be used for great purposes. You could use screen time to transmit a biblical worldview and offer reflection questions that spark really transformative conversations in the home between kids and those who care about them the most.
Obviously, I've seen you, for a couple of years now and seen the company grow, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of others in this space yet. But obviously, you've been, at recent homeschool conventions. I know you're plugged in to kind of what's happening in the world around you. Do you see more of this content being produced and looked for? There's got to be a hunger for it.
There's definitely a hunger for it. I think it's one of those things where we don't know that we need it until it's too late, in the sense that I think now, especially since the COVID years have happened, most ministries and churches are saying, wow, we really need a digital strategy. We need something that, yes, it's obviously really important that we be doing things that are in person and face to face, but also we need to have a digital strategy as well, something that will encourage togetherness and connection. And it's strange to think because when it comes to screens, we think of, kind of isolation and we're kind of separating ourselves, but that's not the case anymore. There are actual, very real virtual experiences that are promoting positive imagination, connection, and in the case of Lightgliders, family discipleship.
So is this Lightgliders, is it something that churches can get involved in, whether it be their children's ministry or youth groups or whatnot, homeschool, I'd imagine, and then just regular families? Is there kind of different packages or different avenues on how they can help expose this to wherever our kids are?
Absolutely. We have different packages of signing up. You can sign up as an individual, you can sign up for a family, you can sign up for a group. We've gotten the most traction, I would say, from families, because that's where they're feeling the problem on a daily basis. And the problem is this: my kids want screen time. My kids want to play digital games, but I don't feel good about what's out there. I don't feel good about ads. Like, even YouTube today is dangerous because there's ads there. I don't feel good about microtransactions where you've got to pay another dollar every 5 minutes to get to the next level. So I really, when it comes to screen time, we as parents, we really have to think critically about the issue, and think about what's best for our kids, and what's the right response. But if we do see, hey, we want to give this to them as a reward, or we want to, give it to them as a, hopefully an opportunity to learn. Well, there's resources like Lightgliders out there. Now, there's a lot of resources out there when it comes to education and learning. I don't know how many resources are out there when it comes to faith and Christian worldview. And so that's kind of where we stand apart.
What's your main message for parents watching, maybe grandparents watching as well? I'd imagine this is, I would think, a great gift for grandparents to give their families too. But what's your message, and how do you kind of best explain why families should get on board with Lightgliders?
Well, the message is this: it tells us in Deuteronomy 6 that we as parents are supposed to pass on love for God and obedience to Him to our children, and we're supposed to talk about it at bedtime and talk about it in our homes. And I'm a big believer that pivotal experiences and meaningful conversations are the very things that transform kids' lives. And so when I started doing some research on families, I saw that 85% of Christian parents want to impart faith and values into their kids, but over 90% feel ill-equipped to do so. It's almost like, hey, we want to do this, but we also want help. And so with Lightgliders, we were looking for a kid-first approach, something that would engage kids, that would also spark really important conversations in the home. So embedded in Lightgliders is a biblical worldview curriculum that's distributed each week. We teach creation, rebellion, redemption, restoration, all resting on the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus. And then within that are many, not only fun games and activities for the kids, but weekly lessons and reflection questions for the families. And as we've been at this for a while, we've learned that, there are some families that really want to take advantage of the discipleship resources inside of Lightgliders, and that is awesome. That's why we created it. And then there's a lot of families that are just thankful that there is a walled garden of safe, positive, and Christian digital gameplay and activities for their kids. And so ultimately what Lightgliders offers is a safe alternative that gives parents and grandparents peace of mind for their kids' screen time and digital gameplay.
What's the best? Is the website? Is it an app? Where do you go to send people to figure out what they need to download, what they
Great
need
question.
to do?
Great question. Yeah, the best thing to do is to go to www.lightgliders.com and then click sign up, and everyone can start a free trial. And then once you create your account, you can download the Lightgliders app in the Apple Store, Google Play Store, Amazon App Store. You can play on computers, tablets, smartphones. I mean, really, once you have your account, you can play on any of your devices. And so it's a cross-platform product, and with the goal of redeeming that screen time.
Bravo. Good job. I know this it has been a lot of work, especially when you're kind of the pioneer in this platform. And it's not like you have a whole lot of other things to say, oh, look, they're doing that well, so we can try to do this. So, but job well done. Keep it going. Again, as a mom myself with young kiddos at home, I know how much this is needed. And I'm excited to see just the gospel be presented in all these different avenues and platforms in 2023, and how we can use our gifts and kind of our knowledge to spread the gospel in different ways. So
that's exactly right. We're all on the same team, and we've got a mission.
God bless. We will be praying for you that this continues to spread and get bigger. And we look forward to hopefully checking in again a little bit later and seeing what's new and up the pipeline.
That sounds great, Carley. Thank you so much.